Hello and welcome. Good morning. It is 8 o'clock. It is Friday, August 27th. The first week of school for many of you has come and gone. Congratulations. I hope you are all staying safe between viruses and fires and whatever else. I am your grumpy guide to all things Saturday morning cartoon, the grumpy guide that is the OGGM, and it's time for some more RPG news. This story just dropped on our laps this morning. We're very excited, but also very tentative and very hesitant, but also, I don't really know. So there is a company called Renegade Game Studios. Renegade Game Studios has, I don't know who they are. Let's find out, but apparently they're a thing. They make puzzles and board games. I guess they're also the people that brought us Alice is Missing. Something called Icarus. Wait, I can't. These are all different companies. Kids on Bikes. No, wait. Do they actually make games, or they just make products for games, or they just ship games? Yeah, I guess they're the people who brought us Kids on Bikes, which is a great game. Anyways, they have gotten the license to the Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Transformers IPs, at least for now. They are working with Hasbro, which means Hasbro is probably going to buy them, to make the official tabletop RPG versions of the various Hasbro properties, including Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Transformers. Transformers! More than meets the eyes. They will be revealed to be using a D20-based system called the Essence20 game system. Just because they're made by Hasbro, no, you cannot bring a G.I. Joe, Transformer, or Power Ranger into your 5th edition role-playing game unless your DM and fellow players say so. So if you're already thinking that you could have a Transformer, you should probably ask. And Power Rangers. I mean, I've wanted a Power Rangers role-playing game for years, except, of course, there already is several Senti role-playing games. Anyways, the Essence20 role-playing system is a D20-based system that uses what it calls a fashion plate system for character design, drawing from 3 aspects: what type of person they are, what is their function as part of the team, and what experiences have they had in life prior to becoming a hero. The system has 3 elements: origin, role, and influence, and uses different dice for different skill levels. Oh, no, that sounds a lot like Cortex Prime, and Savage Worlds. So why didn't you just make Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Transformers for Savage Worlds? So it is a D20 system, but it's also a D20 skill dice system. So D4, D6, D8 plus D20. While rolling skill tests and attack rolls, a player will always roll a D20 plus the applicable dice for the type of roll they are making. D20 plus D6, I guess, or D20 plus D12. Essence 20 also includes a ladder mechanic where if a character has specialized in a particular skill, they may roll their skill dice plus every other dice under it, choosing the highest dice rolls and add it to their D20. So if you have, I guess, a skill at D8, you could roll a D20 plus the D4, D6, and D8 and take the highest. That sounds interesting and definitely does embrace the much more wild Saturday morning cartoon aspect of Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Transformers. I like it, but I don't like it. I like the idea of rolling a D20 and then rolling another dice and adding the 2 together. I like the idea of rolling multiple dice and picking the highest to show your level of skill and the fact that you are, basically playing a Saturday morning cartoon. And so Saturday morning cartoons are going to be way more over the top and way more for color than, say, a D&D game. I just don't know if I like the idea of just rolling various dice shapes just for the hell of rolling various dice shapes. But we have to wait and see. I could be wrong. Maybe, if each class had its own dice, like the support rolls a D6, and the striker rolls a D8, and the brick rolls a D10. So D20 plus D6, D for that class, D20 plus D8 for that class, and D20 plus D10 for that class. That would be a cool idea, and I might have to steal that. But I don't think that's what they're doing. At least not, I can't tell by this. They will also be doing the My Little Pony RPG, even though there already is a My Little Pony RPG and a Tales of Equestria RPG. So I guess those previous My Little Pony and Tales of Equestria RPG will now cease to exist, and we'll be getting a brand new My Little Pony RPG. That bothers me, because the other My Little Pony Tales of Equestria RPG is excellent. Because this is set in a Saturday morning cartoon, and we're all familiar with Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Transformers, well, with the exception of Transformers, it appears that the system has rules for where characters don't really die, because we know nobody ever died in Power Rangers, except, of course, yes, they did. And we know that nobody ever really died in G.I. Joe, or if they did die, they died off screen. So if it's, instead of dying, your character will just be replaced by a new actor. R.E.P. Trini. You would just be so instead of dying, you'll just be taken out of combat. The threats you face are not lethal, but they're still, so it's not a Sentai role-playing game. It's definitely Power Rangers, which means it's villain of the week. You lose a little bit, then you reinforce, and then you win, and then like every 3 episodes you get a power-up. I wonder if they're going to have rules for the Zords. I wonder if they're going to have rules for, changing teams. It looks like the initial role-playing game will be set in the Rita Repulsa Lord Zed period. So probably the first 2 seasons covering Power Rangers, or, for those of us who know the Sentai, Geki Ranger, and then what was after Power? Was Turbo after Power, or was Zeo after? No, it was the Storm Rangers. So that was I forget which Sentai that was based on. So yeah, the Thunder Zord, Megazord. I don't remember which Sentai that was, but it was Geki. The first one was Geki Ranger. The second one was I don't remember. I'd have to look it up, but I know it was based upon a separate Sentai. So that'll be interesting how they do the rules for like, oh, you don't get killed. Instead, you get replaced by a new actor, or oh, we need a new power up to replace the previous power ups because we've run out of footage from that previous Sentai. That would be awesome. That would be awesome if they not only followed the Power Rangers world, but also actually followed the Power Rangers logic of every time they run out of footage, they have to switch to a new series, and therefore they have to switch to new robots and new power-ups or a completely different theme. We're out of footage from Geki Ranger. We're going to be using Car Ranger, so now you're the Turbo Power Rangers. That would be awesome. And that is exactly how I'd run it if I did it, a Power Rangers game, but I don't think that's what they're going to do. But that would be awesome. That's 2 great ideas I had. I should not write those down before somebody else does. So anyways, yeah, we've got a G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, My Little Pony, and Transformers role-playing game to look forward to. All of them will be using the Essence20 system from Renegade Studios. Renegade working hand in hand with Hasbro, which probably means Hasbro's going to buy Renegade, which is sad because their games are pretty cool, and I don't want to see them ruined by Hasbro. But oh well, who cares what I think? D20 could work for Power Rangers. I don't know if it could if they make G.I. Joe like the cartoon, then yeah, D20 is perfect because nobody ever dies in the cartoon. People recover from being dropped out of a plane. Everybody always has a parachute, so if they follow the actual ridiculous logic of the cartoon, then yeah, sure, D20 would work. Transformers, I don't know, because characters died. Well, they didn't die. They lost their spark. I mean, Optimus dies in the movie. Galvatron and Megatron shoot other robots all the time. So yeah, I mean, Transformers is a little more hardcore. It definitely goes dark. It can go dark. Transformers will be interesting. And I don't know if Transformers works with the D20 system. I mean, these are all titles I'd rather see under a different game system. But, we'll wait and see. Essence20 could be good. It could actually be the D20 system that we wanted instead of 5e. Who knows? And once again, just because these are being made by a company that's working with Hasbro, it does not mean you can bring a Power Ranger, member of G.I. Joe or Cobra, or a Transformer into your 5th edition D&D game unless everybody, including the DM, agrees. So before you're thinking that, you better check. Though I would love to fuck up some 5e games by bringing in the Green Ranger or something. We can look for more information with Redicide Con, which starts tonight. Don't know where it's being held. It's probably an online online convention. Ooh, time for caffeine, or I'm talking too much. Anyways, what do you think? Are you excited to see a Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Power Rangers role-playing game? Considering all those titles have already been done in other games repeatedly, there are Senti games, there are several mecha games that embrace the idea of Transformers, and there are several games that do the idea of G.I. Joe. But these are the official IP, so it's not a Sentai role-playing game, it's Power Rangers. It's not a secret military forces role-playing game, it's G.I. Joe. And it's not a transforming mecha role-playing game, it's Transformers. So they have all those licenses, which should be interesting, especially Power Rangers. Power Rangers is the one I'm most curious about because since we know how Power Rangers works, how is that going to be adapted to a role-playing game? Because the logic of the Power Rangers universe for the first, 10 years is based upon the constant recycling of footage from different shows. That one I'm curious about. I don't know. I hope they embrace it. I doubt they will. Anyways, if you're curious about this, let me know. If you want to talk more about Essence20 and a Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Transformers role-playing game. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 1,000 subs, and then I will transform into a tuna fish sandwich. Till next time, Transformers, transform and roll out. G.I. Joe, a real American hero. G.I. Joe is there. Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, I'm a Sentai fan, you guys know. So I'm excited about Power Rangers and how possibly ridiculous it could be.